Hi, guys and gals. If you're like me, like I'm like me, like I know I am, then you must have heard that old adage, every cloud has a silver lining, and wondered how that could possibly apply to the pall of insufferable collectivist class envy peddled by the wonderful Senator Bernie Sanders. Well, I think I might have found that silver lining. It's the fact that by seeing how consistently wrong Bernie is on ethics and economics,
I was wrong.
We can learn new lessons in those fields. So why not join me, Dr. G, as we check out the lessons that we can derive from his newest nonsensical call for national rent control. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV, and if you watch my videos, you probably know that I lecture in political economics and philosophy. So I'm constantly looking for news stories that allow us to open doors, to allow the students to learn things about ethics and economics and political philosophy from things that are happening today. And it turns out, thanks to Sean Hannity, I have found one. It is Bernie Sanders and a tweet he supplied on January 19th. Check it out.
This is a crisis. We need national rent control.
I'm channeling my great Bernie Sanders there.
I gotta put glasses on or something to get out of the wig. What?
Bernie. Bernie's tweet comes in response to a story and a tweet from The Economist claiming that the median American rent payment rose 61% in real terms between 1960 and 2016, while the median renter's income grew by 5%. So let's find the silver lining and learn from all of this. First of all, there's no contextual malignity to the two statistics. There isn't even necessarily a link between rental costs and median renter's income. Rental costs are dependent on supply and demand, and both supply and demand can include many changeable factors. So, to put it in different terms, both millionaires and paupers buy pens. The price of a pen is dependent on demand, competition in the market, and the costs associated with manufacture, delivery, marketing, and so on. If a large portion of wealthy pen users drop their pens for, say, styluses on e-devices, then the price of pens would drop, suppliers would decrease supply, and likely decrease the number of people in the workforce dedicated to that supply, and the price would reach a new lower equilibrium point. Likewise, if the United States is seeing more home purchases coming about due to an increase in employment, but also partially due to an artificial manipulation of the home market and loans prompted by reckless and unwarranted federal government policy, well, more wealthy and median income people will buy, fewer will rent, and the composition of the renting demographic will tilt towards the less affluent. Now, this shouldn't actually be a problem. Within that new demo, the free market will supply, and suppliers looking for profit will continue to cater to demand, and if there is a profit to be found, they will invest to increase that supply, which should lower prices. To put it another way, McDonald's doesn't stop catering to hungry people just because a hoity-toity restaurant has opened up in town. But what happens if there is another force involved, a force using force to actually retard growth of supply in rental properties? Well, clearly, prices won't decrease as they should because supply is being prevented from filling demand. A shortage occurs. In fact, prices could actually rise, which is the major problem for rentals in the United States. Reports abound covering the political restrictions on rentals, be they zoning laws, space size statutes, occupancy statutes, or even bans on new construction. As Reason has reported, in San Francisco, politicians are so rabid about making sure only the government provides housing in the form of tax-funded ghettos, they have blocked property owners from transforming their property, including a laundromat owner who just wanted to turn his property into a multi-story housing unit area, and the government said, no, you can't do it because it will throw shade onto a children's playground. A playground which was already shaded by trees in the playground.
The building would cast a shadow over this playground in the early morning, and as you can see, it's already shaded by a number of mature trees.
So Bernie is completely blind to the source of the problem, which is government force, and his answer is more government force in the form of national rent control, which is really a threat. It is one group of people gaining political advantage to tell everyone else that they can't use their property in a peaceful way. Now, all other considerations aside, this ethical point should be all you need to say rent control statutes are really bad. There's the constitutional question, which is that there's no constitutional provision at all. But if we want to go deeper, then we can even go into the practical consequences of rent control statutes, and those are abysmal. Politically imposed caps on rental prices are disincentives to increase supply. Suppliers need price signals to tell them that there is an increase in demand. And with that price signal, new market entrants will hop in and we'll see more rentals and lower prices. You see, with price caps that are imposed by politicians, the incentives that even current owners have to invest in upkeep and even add accoutrements are destroyed. In fact, they stagnate the cultural vitality of most areas. In fact, last year, my friend, professor and economist David R. Henderson actually quoted a socialist in a piece that he wrote about how Vietnam's housing market was destroyed by, you got it, rent control. He quoted Swedish economist Assar Lindbeck, who said, "In many cases, rent control appears to be the most efficient technique presently known to destroy a city, except for bombing." Well, it seems that America's elder socialist Bernie Sanders doesn't get it, but at least he's consistent. And he gives us an opportunity to learn to find that silver lining in the dark cloud, the pall of his policy ideas. Oh, man, it's like they make them up in a cartoon and they turn them into flesh and blood. It's like, God, how did you do this? Hey, thank you so much for joining us on this stormy day. And don't forget, if you get a chance, check out MRC-Store, where you can find this awesome t-shirt that I am wearing once again, thanks to customer demand. Yes, viewer requests. I put it back on. I love it. It is the In Search of Real News. Again, it reminds me of that old show with Leonard Nimoy, and in fact, one of my favorite albums by a really good rock band is called In Search Of. It's great stuff, and you'll find that design and a lot more over there. And don't forget, everybody, we really rely on you to share these videos with friends. It's really difficult to surpass that social media censorship out there. So thank you so much for what you've done already, and we hope you'll continue to do so. I'll be hopping into the comments on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell. It's supposed to tell you when new videos are coming out, and I'll see you over in the comments section. For MRC-TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.